need to get back to you.
Welcome to
Monday with the Mavens.
All right, you guys, it's all about holiday health hacks. Because, as we mentioned in stories, it is crazy. The average American gains a fair amount of fat between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And you don't gotta do it.
No.
Like, there are solutions.
Yeah, I'm going to apologize right now in case there's like some chaos happening amongst us because my animals are crazy, you guys.
They're so fun. She's got a puppy and 2 kitties. Oh my gosh. And she is this is like what she rules her queendom with.
It's my queendom. And I do have to keep a strong rein on those who live within the queendom.
Okay, we're going to keep it short and sweet.
Yeah.
We say that, but we really are. And here's the deal, you guys. It is harder for a lot of reasons for most people, not everybody, this time of year to really keep your health at the forefront. And what's hard is that a couple extra pounds of fat is super detrimental to your health. It's detrimental to your hormones, which is a part of your health, to your sleep, to your cognition, to everything. And like, why wouldn't we wake up Christmas morning feeling like energetic and good? Like, why wait until the first of the year to feel our best? Because the decisions we make between now and the end of the year can really set us back, and it can make it so that we don't enjoy our holidays as much. You guys, like, come on, look at this kitty and this puppy.
Get down.
And so the big thing is, you guys, it doesn't have to be that hard. Just being mindful and being aware and doing a couple small things can make a huge difference. So we're going to list several. You could just even pick a couple, but I think it's just really being mindful. And it's a lot of the things we talk about anyways, but there's a couple things that we want to share that are like, I don't know, maybe they won't be profound to you, but they're kind of profound to me.
Yeah, totally. And another thing to think about too is,
I'm really close to you.
well, we are like really.
We have to be
like
fit on. We have Instagram and Facebook.
Sorry,
but,
I've been threatening for 2 years now to get this figured out. We have bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that one of the things that makes this time of year more difficult is people feel like the holidays is like an okay time to splurge. It's like, oh, well, we made it to the holidays, so I'm going to splurge a little bit.
Yeah.
And so a lot of this has to do with mindset and really just kind of, I think it has less to do with willpower and like, oh my gosh, I need to have like this iron will, and more to do with like reducing opportunities for failure.
Animals.
The animals, it's just fun.
Here's the thing is there's no reason that you can't enjoy the things that you love in moderation. Like the last thing that I want for myself or for any of us for that matter is to feel like we can't. Oh my gosh, you guys.
Sorry. He's not allowed on the furniture, and we are really working hard on this. It's just water. It doesn't hurt anything. It's fine.
We want to stay on target, but just so that you guys know the cuteness factor that we're working with, if you haven't already seen him, this is Samson. I mean, come on.
His face is a little wet.
Yeah, he's like the sweetest boy ever.
He is.
Okay, so the thing is that it's not about deprivation. It's not. Like, there are things that I fit in every single day. There are traditions that I absolutely love that are important to me that I'm going to fit in. What happens, though, is it's a slippery slope, right? You start down this road of every day you're wanting to fit in things, or you're in a professional setting and somebody's bringing in crap every day. Sugar is addictive. It's not that you can't have a little bit. We talked about this in our Zoom with our clients this morning. It's not that you can't fit the things in. We just had peppermint chocolate bark. Like, we fit it in. Like, we loved it. It was great. But it's all about moderation, because the thing is that when you start fueling your body with things like sugar, it creates an inflammatory response in your body, and you are going to start leading towards more chronic inflammation over time. Which, you guys, it's not just the aesthetic component. It's not just the adding of fat, which fat alone will mess up your endocrine system and your sleep. Your endocrine system is tied to your hormones.
And did you guys know, just really quickly, just like a little fun fact for you guys. Fat, like when you have fat inside your body, that fat produces its own hormones.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, most of the time, it's estrogen. So the more fat you have on your body is producing a lot of estrogen, a lot of hormones that are unnecessary. I mean, we want to keep our hormones balanced and in harmony with our bodies. And so a lot of that has to deal with like losing fat and making sure that our bodies are the healthiest that they can be, and not having, too much fat to where our bodies become hormonally imbalanced.
And so most of the time clients come to us with an aesthetic goal in mind, right? They want to shift their body composition. They want maybe visible muscle, less fat. Those are all great things.
Yeah.
But when we're looking at like actual long-term longevity, vitality, health, we want to minimize excessive fat because of its role on our nervous system, on our brain, on our sleep, on our hormones, on our life expectancy, on our ability to mutate towards disease. And so that comes back to inflammation, specifically with sugar. Now, there's several different things if we're talking about just what we put in our mouth that can create inflammation. It really is going to come down to your grains, your dairy, your sugar, and your alcohol is really what it comes down to. We're not saying you can't have those things. You just need to know that if you are consistently ingesting those items and it is a staple in your day-to-day, it is going to create low-grade chronic inflammation over time, which is what leads to disease. And so I love sugar. I am a former recovering sugar addict. Like I am. I still fit it in moderation. I safeguard myself so I don't have a ton of it in my house. If I know I'm going to have some chocolate every afternoon, I know I can just fit that in. If I know I'm going to an event or a dinner or something that's going to be there, I'm going to really prioritize my protein the remainder of the day so that I can get that in. But there's some things that you can do. First and foremost, with nutrition and staying on track, especially this time of year with there being so many more temptations, and oftentimes people are not moving as much this time of year because it's colder out. That alone, if you can simply prioritize your proteins and your healthy fats and making sure that you're trying to get the majority of your carbohydrates from whole fruits and vegetables. It's as simple as that. Yeah. If you can start your day with a protein-friendly breakfast, you are going to be more satiated and you are not going to have that glucose roller coaster throughout the day. If you can make sure, if you are going to have a goodie, that you have some fat and protein first so that it stabilizes your blood sugar and so that you don't have as big of cravings. All of those things can make such a big difference. Asa just get home?
Well, we'll see. He's maybe just driving by the house, in which case it tells me he's home and then he leaves. So I don't know. Yeah. And on that note, you guys, really keep it simple. There are things that you can do to help yourself out during the day. So one thing, we talked about this with our clients this morning on our Zoom, but one thing that I think, people kind of shoot themselves in the foot by getting up in the morning and going and having like a really sweet coffee drink. Like the second, Asa is home. The second your mouth tastes something sweet, it triggers a dopamine response in your brain, which then tells you like, ooh, I want that, I want that, I want that. And so then when you're done drinking your sweet coffee, an hour later, you're like, man, why do I want cookies right now? Or why do I'm just craving something sweet? It's because
the next hit.
Yeah, you've trained your body like the first thing in the morning that you have something sweet. It's really simple. If you can eliminate the sweet for as long as possible throughout your day and wait hopefully until like after lunch, let's say that you drink your coffee. This is what I do. I do put a little bit of chocolate collagen in my coffee, but my coffee is generally not sweet. And I can have a really high protein breakfast every single morning. And then I don't need anything until lunchtime. And then at lunchtime, I have always a pretty densely protein heavy lunch. And then I can have, like we had a piece of mint chocolate this afternoon. And that's it. I'm good to go.
Several pieces actually.
Yeah, we did have more than one piece, which is fine. Yeah. And there's another question that you'll ask yourself later. Is it worth it? That you need to ask yourself. And it was worth it to me, but it also isn't going to derail me. Yeah. I know that like, okay, I'm done now. I don't need to have any more and I'm good. And so had I had something sweet or allowed myself to have like a really sweet treat, a donut, even a bagel, even if it's not sweet, but like something that's heavy on the carb side for breakfast, my body would be like, I want that glucose hit again. I want some more of that. And so that's why you have these wild cravings. If you can keep your blood sugar balanced and keep your glucose levels balanced throughout the day, those cravings almost completely go away. It's pretty incredible, actually.
Not to mention, and it's very similar to what you find with any form of addiction, when you get that dopamine response in the brain. It's a neurotransmitter mostly released from our gut that goes to our brain that tells us that we want more. And the thing is that what happens is that let's say that you start introducing more sugar in this season. Then you get that dopamine hit, and then your body wants a bigger hit, and it's going to take more to get that same response. And so then your cravings increase, and it's going to take more of the same thing, and then you're creating this inflammatory response over time. So the great thing is that just keep it simple. There's several things that we can do to be our healthiest self between now and the end of the year. And of course, after the end of the year too. It's just that there are a lot more temptations right now for most people. It's a little bit harder this time of year for most people. The biggest thing, you guys, is you can have the treats, you can fit them in. It's moderation, it's planning ahead, it's making sure you're prioritizing your protein. It's making sure you're getting healthy fats and proteins before you dive into your goodies so that you're satiated and so that you don't go on that huge glucose roller coaster that's only going to create a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
I have a kitty pulling my hair and scratching my
back.
back.
I can hear this. What is happening?
Yeah, hi, honey. And so from a nutrition standpoint, which is always where we start because it is the biggest factor in your progress. Yeah. It really is. Like when you look at people trying to make, pretty soon we're going to be going into the new year and you're going to have all these new year resolutions. So many people put an emphasis on their exercise, which is important. Moving our bodies is important. But you guys, it's like 80% plus nutrition and 20% or less what we're doing in the gym or wherever we're working out. Like it really is. You cannot out exercise a bad fort.
It's true.
You just can't. Nutritionally, if you can dial it in, if you can know how to fuel your body and your brain, it is a game changer. And we're not talking about deprivation. We're talking about getting good nutrients and food in that like help you be your best self.
I wish that we could like flip the script a little bit as far as New Year's resolution goes. I bet, 70% of people, their New Year's resolution is, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to get in great shape. What people don't realize is the shape they want to be in doesn't come from going to the gym all the time. It comes from choosing the right foods for your body. And so that alone can make all the difference in the world. So if you can choose the right foods for your body to get you to your goals, you are on the route to better health, to looking the way you want to look, to looking the way that you think that going to the gym is going to make you look. Now, I'm not saying don't go to the gym. Absolutely. I go to the gym every single day. Like it is part of who I am. And so I just don't put nearly as much value in the gym as I do nutrition. And that's not how I've always been. That is like within like the last several years. That is just, I have learned that is where real change happens. It happens in the kitchen.
It's huge. Okay, so nutrition, which is where we always start. It's going to be the big, like, it is going to make the biggest impact, you guys. So once again, you're like, really understanding the role of protein, prioritizing, getting your proteins and your fats in, making sure that you do leave room for things that you enjoy so that you don't feel like you're deprived, but that you're fitting them in, but that you're fitting them in well. Yeah. Also, protect your environment. If you're anything like me, like if I have too much sugar and goodies in my environment, I struggle. And so I just have to minimize what I have, especially in my home. I know it's a lot harder in the workplace sometimes, so you can even minimize how much you're going in a break room. You can make sure that you have good alternatives on hand that you enjoy. There's always a solution. It just might take a little bit of planning. The next thing is, and we talk about this all the time, but oh my gosh, it makes such a difference in your health and even your cravings, and that is just simply staying hydrated.
Yep.
Like if you can get adequate water in every day, it will change your health between now and the end of the year. And we're talking like, it doesn't take that much, at least half your body weight in ounces. If you weigh 150 pounds, that's 75 ounces. That's at minimum. I drink more than half my body weight in ounces, and being hydrated has been one of the biggest game changers for me. Not to mention, like, you will look like a different person. A hydrated individual looks like a different person. Your skin will be glowy and beautiful. Your hair, your eyes, your organs. Like if you think about our skin is our biggest organ, and you think of what the change that happens in your skin with hydration, think about what's happening internally with your digestion, your brain, your nervous system. Like hydration is so key, and it's accessible to all of us, and it's so easy to do.
It is. And people really struggle with it. It's almost, aside from nutrition, it is the number one thing I talk to my clients about. Constantly like pushing water. Like I am your water pusher. Like if there is one thing that you can do aside from nutrition to absolutely change your life for the better, it is drink enough water. Yeah. It is so simple, you guys. So simple. Just drink more water.
Yep. Yeah, it's as simple as that.
And if you are drinking enough water too, I will say this because I usually know, like, besides the fact that I track how much water I drink during the day, but I almost always know if I'm dehydrated. That's when I start munching. That's when I'm like, ooh, I need something to eat. I need something salty or, something sweet. Usually I don't. Usually I just need to drink more water. And I'm not saying that all the time. Like, yeah, that sounds romanticized that, oh, if you get a craving, all you do is drink water. No, that's not what I'm saying. Oftentimes, I think that hunger, we confuse hunger with thirst. And so
or boredom.
Yeah. And so if I can go in and just take a huge drink of water, almost always my craving for whatever it was that I wanted goes away, unless I truly am like, I don't know, deficient in something.
And ask yourself that question. It's something that we work with our clients on a lot, is the retraining of habits and understanding of hunger. Like, if you are truly hungry, like, of course we want you to fuel your body. But oftentimes, like, especially mid-afternoon, it can come from boredom. If you work from home or in a setting where there's always snacky stuff and it's like that 2-3 o'clock sometimes energy slump that people get and they want a snack, are you actually hungry or are you just used to filling your mouth? Like, we get a response when we crunch, right?
Yeah.
Like, there is an actual response that's happening chemically in your body. And so if you know that you're full and you know that you're satiated and you can start to have some replacement behaviors like moving your body, it can make a huge difference. Which brings us into the next thing. So we talked about nutrition being first and foremost, 80% plus of your results. And there's some really easy things that you can do to set yourself up for more success this time of year. We also talked about hydration. Now we're gonna talk about movement.
Yeah.
You guys, it's easy for people to move less right now, especially in the colder months. And like, I dare you. I used to be a little bit more of a fair weather mover. And now I almost enjoy like interesting weather more than like, I mean, I love sunshine.
Alive.
It does.
It
like,
just makes you feel
rain,
alive.
shine, snow, whatever it is. If you have some good gear, like, invest in a little bit of good gear to keep you dry. And you can go out and feel so alive, whether you're walking, whether you're running, whether you're biking, like whatever it may be. Of course, like, if you want that toned look, you have to have muscle to see muscle, which means that we need to shed that fat off the top layer.
Pump
and you
some
need to
iron.
be doing some
That's
resistance training. But before you even get into a resistance training game, which is what we're going to work with you on once we get your nutrition in check, just simply moving your body. Low intensity, steady state movement. It's called LISS. And we like to kiss for some LISS.
Yeah. And it's simple, you guys. Shoot for 10,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
We aren't the only ones who say this. You will hear 10,000 steps a day from anybody and everybody who is in nutrition or in the movement realm of the world.
Yeah.
10,000 steps a day should be like the base number of steps that you're getting every day. If you're like, well, I don't have any way to count my steps, I don't wear a smartwatch. If you have a smartphone, which I feel like 90% of people have a smartphone, and if you keep it on you most of the time, which most people do, you can use your phone as a step counter. It has a step counter in it. I can go to my phone right now. I can look in the health app and see how many steps my phone has recorded. It's simple, you guys. And there are so many things that you can do to increase the number of steps that you take every day. We spend probably, especially this time of year, so much time driving around parking lots looking for a close place to park because we don't want to walk. Just park in the back of the parking lot and walk. You'll get into the building sooner than you would if you're waiting for a spot close up, and you're benefiting your body. It's really simple, you guys. You don't have to like purpose necessarily to go out and walk for miles and miles every day. You just need to be mindful about when and how you can get a few extra steps in throughout your day.
Or I challenge you, and this is something I changed years ago. Somebody just gave us a heart. Thank you. The more you can move while doing other things. Like, I do a lot of phone calls. I do a lot of auxes. And I've really tried to get in the habit. If I know I'm going to jump into a call, whether it be with a client or a friend or a family member or whomever, I will throw my ears in, I will throw my shoes on, and I will just start moving while I walk and talk, because I get so much movement in and my brain works better when I'm moving.
Yeah, it's true.
When I worked in a more traditional office setting for a long time, I would have my team during meetings, if they were open, I didn't require it, come out and do a walking meeting with me. Because even Haley and I, when we are like really talking through things, we are so much more efficient when we are moving our bodies and trying to like really workshop through things. And so I dare you, like if you are doing calls for work and people don't care, like you can tell them, like just own it, and maybe you'll inspire them.
Yeah.
Like whether they're walking meetings, I know sometimes you need a computer for things like that, or whether you're walking and talking on the phone, or you're catching up on boxes, or you have a podcast you really want to listen to. I know oftentimes we can also be getting chores done while we're doing those things, but that is when my steps add up.
Yeah, it's true. And you know what, you guys, again, like keep it simple, right? I keep a pair of tennis shoes by the door. Like you just slip on tennis shoes and you go out.
And you keep them in the car.
And I keep a pair of tennis shoes in my car too, because oftentimes, you know, and if you think about it, if you think about what is happening in your body, if we're sedentary, oftentimes Emmy and I have a lot of computer work, especially on Mondays, and we'll sit and we'll do a bunch of computer work, and then we're like, man, like we're just not being nearly as efficient as we can be. And it's like, okay, well, let's take a half an hour or whatever it is, and we'll go for a walk and talk through a handful of things. The second you get your blood moving, if you think about it, circulation, the blood is flowing through your brain, you're getting good circulation, and then all of a sudden those ideas start coming alive. And it's like, we can get through so much more information and talk through things and make decisions and change. In fact, there's a meme that says something like, if you want to change the world, like give a problem to 2 moms and send them out on a walk or something like that.
It's so true.
And it's true. Like, I feel like oftentimes we can solve the problems of the world when we're out on a walk.
It's so, it's so true. And that brings me into another point. It's easy for us to always talk about how like the holidays are this joyous time and this like fun festive thing. Holidays can be hard for some people, and we don't want to ignore that fact. And that is all the more reason why moving your body, fueling yourself nutritionally, and staying hydrated, it really helps from a mental health standpoint. Like it really does. And so the more you can do the simple things, I'm going to add sleep to that, and I'm going to add stress resiliency to that. And that's really, like, we talk about those all the time. There are pillars of wellness. We're talking about a non-inflammatory approach. We're talking about maybe making sure we get deep and restful sleep. We're talking about staying hydrated. We're talking about being stress resilient. Like, they are our pillars of health that we have tools to help our clients do. But it's all the more important right now when we have these added stressors. We have colder months. We have more temptations in our food. We have more celebrations that we're doing. We can absolutely enjoy 100% of those things. We just need to be aware of some little things that we can do. And you guys, sleep is huge.
Yeah, crucial.
It's so crucial. And I mean, there is study after study. Like, we've both done a deep dive into sleep. Lots of deep dives into sleep, but it's been part of our training and part of our background, all of the things. And that's why we created Super Sleep, just because we believe so strongly that like sleep is one of the absolute pillars of our ability to function as our best self. It affects our metabolism. It affects our hormones. It affects our nervous system. It affects
your mood,
system.
your outlook on the life. It affects everything, you guys. Sleep is so important.
And it's not just quantity, it's quality. Yeah. My quantity is actually not great, but my quality within my quantity is good. Not always. I had a season that it wasn't, but like, it is amazing what happens, especially in that deep sleep cycle, which is typically at more of the beginning of your sleep cycle. So the more consistent you can have a bedtime. We talk about sleep a lot. We have a whole tool called Deep and Restorative Sleep on our website. It's free to anybody. It's on the toolbox at macromavens.life. And just even picking a couple of those things to try to change the quality of your sleep can make a huge difference. It is a huge factor in our clients' ability to shed fat.
Yeah.
Sleep is a huge factor.
Yep. And I think we have an entire live where we talked about sleep for probably over an hour.
Yeah, we do.
Sleep is really important. Another thing to consider too, guys, just as we're kind of in the midst of the holidays and there's a lot of holiday parties and different things for you to go to set yourself up for success within that environment. You know, oftentimes, you know, it's a potluck or maybe not. I like to take something, whether it's a potluck or not. I often will take something that fits within the boundaries of my macros. If I'm tracking, I like to take something that I love, that is delicious, that I know I can eat. And I will take that to whatever event I'm going to. Now, of course, I wouldn't do that if I was going to a restaurant or something like that. But if I'm going to a friend's house where there's going to be food and I'm just like, I don't know if I can eat that food because I stay away from gluten and I try to stay away from dairy. And so oftentimes I'll take something that does fit, that does work with my health restrictions, if you will. And that's really simple. Do that. People are always grateful when other people bring something to share. And so it's not like I'm taking my own little dish, like my plate, like this is my plate and I'm going to eat it. It's not like that. I take like a whole dish to share. And so that's something that you can do also. And that way you know that you're getting something that fits within the boundaries of your macros if you're on a macro plan. Otherwise, just being mindful. If I know I have an event to go to in the evening, like for instance, Emmy and I went to an event on Saturday night. I made sure, I didn't know what the menu was going to be. I knew that there was going to be food, but I didn't know exactly what the food was going to be. I made sure that I ate a ton of protein in the morning and also at lunch. And so I had most of my protein already covered before I went to the event. And then I saved up all of my fats and carbs because I knew that those were going to be easy to come by once at the event, because that's just typical. And I didn't get off track at all. Like I had plenty of protein. I even got to indulge in some mashed potatoes, which I don't normally eat. And it was great. And I stayed on track and I didn't blow my macros out of the water. It was super easy. And so that's something else you can do. If you're on a macro plan, there's no shame in saving your carbs and fats for an event. Like I do that all the time.
Especially if you know you're going to want some alcohol like that. We have our clients track their alcohol as fat just because of how the liver processes it. And so that can really eat up a lot of the person's fat. So just being more mindful earlier in the day, pre-tracking that drink or drinks makes all the difference to allow you to stay on track.
Yep.
Okay, you guys, so we said we were going to make this quick. So we're going to do a little bit of a wrap up. So don't be, unless you want to be, unless you don't care, and that's okay, to each their own. But like the average person gains roughly 2 pounds of fat between Thanksgiving and Christmas. 2 pounds of fat is really hard to lose. And we're not just talking about not doing that for aesthetic purposes. It is not good for our health. Like it is just not good for us. It has nothing to do with fat shaming. It has everything to do with feeling your best, with having your body work best for you, your sleep good, your hormones good, your metabolism as best as it can be. Like it makes a huge impact. And so nutrition is number one. We talked about some ways that you can just make some simple little shifts to stay on track nutritionally, to make sure you're fueling your body, supporting your endocrine system, and your metabolism. Yep. Stay hydrated. Drink your water.
Water.
It's like, oh my goodness.
So
staying
simple.
deflamed, drinking your water, moving your body, prioritizing your sleep, and just enjoying yourself.
Yep. Real quick, on the whole water sitch.
Yeah.
I just have one more thing to say, because I have a lot of people coming to me and they're like, I'm so bloated right now. Like, why am I feeling so bloated? What's going on? What can I do about it? The number one thing you can do about bloat is drink your water. Yeah. The more water you drink, there may be a time when you're like, I literally can't drink any more water. Well, try to drink more water because you want to flush your body. You want to get rid of the inflammation. You want to get rid of whatever is causing you to feel bloated. And the way you do that is with more water. I know it seems a little counterintuitive to fill yourself with water if you feel like water is filling you up, but that's exactly what you want to do.
Yep, you do.
It will really help.
And you guys, there's no reason you can't jump in with us right now.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
No
Are you
kidding?
kidding?
We have new clients starting all the time, and a lot of people think they need to wait until the beginning of the year, and you don't. Like, it's such a good time to just start being aware and to start tracking what you are eating so that we can get a good feel. And you can actually make a big difference even between now and Christmas. Absolutely. In terms of how you feel on Christmas Day. Like, why not feel vibrant? Why not feel good in your clothes and in your skin? Why not feel energetic? Why not feel more hormonally balanced? Like,
sleep better.
Oh my gosh.
Reduce stress. All of those things, you guys.
Just go to macromavens.life, and if you want a free consult, you'll click the hop on board button. One of us will be in touch, and we would love to answer your questions, see if we're a good fit, and get you started.
Yep. Also, we want to say really quickly, we have a stocking stuffer deal right now with our supplements, Mighty Metabolism and Super Sleep. So these supplements do not go on sale, you guys. Yeah. They just don't. Yeah. And they are on sale right now. You can go to our website, macromavens.life. They are in the shop page, and you can purchase right there. It is a good deal. So if you are one of those people who wants a good deal, the offer is only online. If you purchase our supplements at Velamos or any other place locally, the sale does not apply to that. It only applies to our online sales. So get it while the getting's good, because they won't be on sale forever.
Get it while the getting's good.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here.
Have a great week.
Appreciate you guys. Okay.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.